What's going on, people, and welcome back to another FPL video. This one is my bargain FPL players for the new season for a good price that I feel like could go under the radar and could do well and save you some money at the same time as well. So got a few of them here. Let's get into it. Amad Diallo at Manchester United then. The fixtures are pretty good for United. We've got Liverpool in the third game, but Fulham and Brighton to start off the season. We could definitely do something at both of them fixtures. So we've got a good run of fixtures to start off the season. We are inconsistent though, and any team can trouble us on their day. We've shown that countless times over the years, but I think Amad hopefully will get a lot more minutes this year. He's had a good pre-season. Hopefully no injuries occur for him. I know he's going to be fighting for a place probably between Rashford and Garnacho and Antony if he's coming back in. But I feel like Amad can hold his own. He's had a good pre-season. I feel like he should be getting a lot more minutes this season. If he does, I think he will do well. He's only 5 million. You're getting quality value for cheap at 5 million for Amad Diallo, so he'd be one to look out for me. James Garner at 5 million as well for Everton, previous of Manchester United obviously. I think he had an okay season, could have an even better one. I think he's just getting better and better. Everton did struggle last year, but did enough to survive, turn it around, and I feel like he's going to play a big role in their season this year. Have a bit of an improvement on last year. And I think that he will be a vital player in that. For 5 million in that holding role, he can get forward at times as well. He takes set pieces at times. 5 million I think is a snatch for him. So if Everton have a good season, he's another one that I think you should be looking out for. Billy Gilmore, I see this guy get so much hate and I don't get it because I think he's a quality player. Technically he's one of the best I think in the league. Hasn't got the best luck with injuries, but he's not the worst, and I think in his position he is very underrated. He keeps his teams ticking along nicely. He can take a set piece. His stamina non-stop, and I think he's a very, very underlooked player. So Billy Gilmore at Brighton could have a good season. If they have a good season, I think he'll be a major part of it. So 5 million again. Decore at Everton, another Everton player in here. I was impressed with him at times the last couple seasons really, because he does chip in with his fair amount of goals. I think he was originally bought as a kind of a defensive midfielder, but he kind of plays in that 10 role for Everton now. Gets high up the pitch, can find him in the attacking box a lot, and he's pretty clinical a lot of the time when he gets his chances. So Decore 5.5 in an Everton team. If they do have an improved season, I think he's a big lad. He's strong. He can win headers and he can score with technique as well. So Decore pretty under the radar as well. 5.5. Next up, another Brighton player then, and that is Adingra. I think he had a very good season last year. Obviously, they missed him when he went away to the African Cup of Nations. He obviously won that with his country as well, so he's got a bit of experience of winning something. I feel like he played a vital role last season for Brighton, chipped in with a lot of goals for them. He's one of their main attacking threats, and I think he'll have an even better season this year. So Adingra, 5.5 million, another snatch, I believe, if his team does well. Kamada, another one at Crystal Palace. I can't remember the team they got him from in Germany, but I've seen him for Japan, and that's kind of what I'm basing it off. Is it Leverkusen he came from? Or someone like Frankfurt or Leverkusen? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've seen him play before. Technically very good. He's not the quickest, but technically he's good. Pretty strong on the ball. I believe he can take a set piece, and he can definitely score a goal at times. So Kamada, I think he will help Palace be even stronger. They had a great season last year, especially the second half of the season. And Glasner, I think, is doing a fantastic job there. It's a very clever buy for them in that position, and I think he will be very important. So Kamada, 5.5. Haven't seen tons of him, but what I have seen, I think he could be a very good buy. Justin Kluivert at Bournemouth had a good sort of stint last year in the second half of the season. Chipped in with a fair amount of goals for Bournemouth. He can definitely be a threat. He's pacey, he's tricky, can score goals, low centre of gravity. And from his heritage of his dad as well, obviously a former player. He's just a very attacking player and exciting to watch. And I think Bournemouth are one of the better teams to watch in the league squad. And I think he just adds to that. 5.5. Justin Kluivert, I think we should definitely watch out for him. Semenyo, another Bournemouth player, is another one I had in my team last season for a bit, and he did well while I had him in. Another, similar to Kluivert, and another attacking wide player. Can cut in and play more narrowly as well. Quick feet, strong, scores his fair amount of goals as well. I think them two for Bournemouth are really good to look at, and for their prices offer a lot more than what their prices suggest. And lastly, we've got one that if he can stay fit and get his chances in his minutes, he already has scored in his debut in pre-season, and that is Emil Smith-Rowe, obviously leaving Arsenal recently for a record transfer in Fulham's history, and I think he will be a good addition to the squad if they can rotate his minutes and get his minutes right, obviously playing probably in a similar role to Pereira and Wilson, Harry Wilson. So Smith-Rowe, I think we've all seen glimpses of his potential and what he can do. And I'm glad he's left Arsenal. I feel like he should have got more chances at Arsenal. But for his own sake and his own career, I think he's far too good to be sat on a bench. And I think he will be a massive player for Fulham. Already scored in a pre-season, 7 minutes in. And I think he will be a major driving force in their season to come if he can get his minutes and stay injury-free. So Emil Smith-Rowe, 5.5. So that is it, guys, for my FPL bargains of the season. Let me know your thoughts. If there's any I've missed that you think should be in there, drop them in the comments. I can learn from it as much as you guys can as well. So hope you enjoyed it. See you guys soon.